What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys. Today, first off, let me start off by saying happy Halloween to y'all. Some of y'all that are really into the holiday season. I'm not necessarily into Halloween per se, guys. I mean, I used to love it when I lived up north, but it's a little different down here in the South, guys. It doesn't have the same kind of charisma that it does up north, guys. I mean, they don't really have Mischief Night down here. It's different. But anyways, happy holidays to y'all, whatever. All right. Today I want to talk about the defense, guys. And I gotta be real with you. I was watching the tape, man, and it's a little head scratching. We switched things up big time from Jim Schwartz. And I'm gonna show you what I saw on film. I want to talk about what happened over the trade deadline, and I'm gonna try to make sense of some stuff, guys, but I'll be honest with you. What I saw on film confused me a little bit from what I thought I knew the Eagles were. Jim Schwartz has definitely been throwing shit at the wall this year, guys, and just seeing if it sticks.
3rd and 6, gusting winds. Allen from the pocket, and the ball is out.
Okay. Did you guys see what I saw on that play? Because that play's not odd in terms of like we've definitely have mixed in some of this defensively throughout the year. But what shocked me in this game is how often we went to this. And this is a very basic cover scheme. This is something that we've utilized from time to time this year, but it has not been our mostly our base coverage scheme. That was a single high safety, so single high coverage, man concept. We went man to man, single high safety. That is not normal for the Eagles, guys. Not going back to it time and time again. And I think there are a lot of things that played in. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to turn this around, guys. I'm going to flip it around to actual a screenshot of this. And I'm going to break down the coverage assignments and what gave it away to me that they were in this coverage. Okay. So as we look across the screen, guys, what we have here, if you look at the defensive right, starting at right cornerback, you have Ronald Darby lined up. A left cornerback, top of the screen, you got Jalen Mills in a man concept, right? And everybody impressively is in a press, coverage type. They're up on the line. You even have Sidney Jones in the slot. Okay, then you have it's hard to see it, guys, but you have up on the line of scrimmage, and it's kind of covered up by the lines I have depicted here, guys. You have Malcolm Jenkins over the tight end. Behind Malcolm Jenkins, where the long white line is, that's Sendejo, and he's lined up with the running back. Each person has man-to-man responsibility. What really tripped me up the very first time I saw this on film is if you look down to the defensive right, there's a linebacker beside Brandon Graham. That's really hard to see. At first, I thought maybe it was a fifth blitzer. Then I thought maybe he dropped into, like a flat area as basically a zone defender. And then I realized actually what he was doing. I think that's Edwards, TJ Edwards, and I'm pretty sure he's spying on the quarterback. He's the spy. And this is very unique. This is not something I expected to see Jim Schwartz run. And I'm going to let the play run out.
3rd and 6, gusting winds. Allen from the pocket, and the ball is out.
So when you're looking at plays like this, guys, one of the ways I diagnose it personally is I really try to pay attention to see if I have zone defenders that are dropping into the flats. That's normally a dead giveaway that you got some kind of underneath coverage, right? So when you're in cover 3, right, you got 4 guys who are going to essentially drop back into zones, right? 2 people are going to drop across the middle. 2 should go out towards the flats. Like, that's a good indication. When you see a single high safety, generally speaking, and this is not always, but normally speaking, when you see single high safety, what you're really looking at is, okay, if I got corners that are off in coverage a little bit, that normally tells me I'm in cover 3. If they're playing up on the line, that's only dead giveaway to me that you're in a man concept cover 1. The other way that I knew for 100% certainty that we were, and like I said, TJ Edwards tripped me up for a second because I thought he dropped into a zone, and then I realized what he was doing. He was reading the quarterback. But if you watch Sendejo's not just going out there to go play the flat. He's playing the flat for a reason. He's on a man assignment with the running back. That's the dead giveaway to me. When I saw what that safety did, that was a dead giveaway to me. That clearly we're playing cover 1, man-to-man. Obviously, we're up in a press situation. We have a single high safety, and the safety goes along with one of the safeties goes along with one of the running backs. I mean, that concept to me, guys, is more of a big nickel because we have Sendejo in there, we have Malcolm Jenkins in there, and we also at the same time have McLeod playing back. He's the guy you don't see pictured. 10 in the box because of the alignment. Now, when you have a young quarterback like we have out there, one of the things about a young quarterback like Josh Allen is if it was me, I may have called a timeout on a play like that, especially a really critical third down play on your first drive, or I would have hopefully you would hope that the coordinator has something built in there to motion. You want to motion so that way you can double check. Because if you motion and that player, that corner, that safety, that linebacker follows whoever you motion, you're in a man concept. You know the defense is a man to man on you. I thought it was very impressive. And I thought there was a lot of crazy things about it. I'm going to run it again this time, guys. When I run it this time, watch real close attention to the defensive right. So the offensive left, defensive right. And you're going to see a guy. Now, listen, Brandon Graham is on the inside, okay? The outside edge rusher on this one is Barnett. And then inside of Barnett is Graham. Beside Graham, you're going to see a linebacker sneaks up, then kind of comes back out. Then he's mirroring, he's watching everything the quarterback does. That tells me I'm in a spy. So watch it, and you guys can see what I'm saying about why it tipped me off he was spying on the quarterback and not just dropping back into his zone.
3rd and 6. Gusting winds. Allen from the pocket, and the ball is out.
As I was preparing this video for you guys today, I was put into a dilemma here, which is how am I supposed to explain this defensive scheme if I don't I've got to define why this happened, why we went so heavy into cover 1 man concept. We are traditionally a cover 3 zone concept. So there's a few different ways of looking at this. The first reason could be simply put weather conditions. The weather warrants us to be in that. The only problem I was saying that was just weather related is I think the cover 3 is just as effective. But I can understand why people say like, well, we're not worried about being beat over the top, so you're going to go cover 1 and go man and play press because you can't throw the ball but so deep, so you want to close off those windows and not give them easy completions, which makes sense to me. Second reason is you can say it's competition based. Look, we know that Buffalo is not a good passing offense. So you come up. I thought they were very creative in their play designs, when I watched them on film prior to this Eagles game. But I was like, okay, I could get looking at Buffalo saying, okay, they got one real, Brown, a very good receiver, very fast receiver, and maybe he can beat us. But with Darby back on the field, Darby's a quick, shifty dude. So maybe it was because of the competition we were playing. We just didn't fear being beat. Third reason could simply be maybe it's the first time in ages that we've had back Darby on one side, Mills on the other. And there was faith in this. The only problem I have with the faith-based argument here that Schwartz was showing faith in the corners is Sidney Jones was still your slot corner. And there's no way any rational human being has faith in Sidney Jones in the slot. Now I will say this, and I've been saying this, and I've been saying this. I think Sidney Jones plays a lot better if you ask him to line up and just, this is your responsibility, this player, you lock onto him, don't let him get past you because he's athletic, he's fast, he's lengthy, he's got all that working for him. He can't play zone because when Sidney Jones is thinking, Sidney Jones is stinking. And that's just the truth. So I can see in some sense like this, okay, like, well, maybe not because, Sidney Jones, if you put him in the man concept, he becomes serviceable. Not good, damn sure not great, damn sure nowhere near to his draft value, but at least serviceable. And by the way, he still did get beat once or twice in this game, but it wasn't to the point of ridiculousness. That, it leads us into a bigger discussion, which is if this was opponent based, how do we handle Chicago? Because I think Chicago has a similar quarterback situation, but I will say this outright. I think Chicago offers way more in the weapons department than Buffalo does. I think Gabriel can play. I think Miller can play on that team. Obviously, we know Trey Burton can play. Like Cohen can play. Like they got guys that can actually get separation and beat you. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would be a rational reason to look at this and say like, oh, well, it's because of their quarterback play. Like that's, I don't know about that. If it's weather based, then obviously, unless the weather mirrors itself again, then we should see it disappear. Now, if it's faith based in the corner play, then we're probably going to see this repeatedly until a team starts figuring out how to beat it. Obviously, our cover 3 was getting beat. People were figuring this out, and our safety play was really bad in the cover 3. I don't know why our safety play was so damn bad in cover 3 and in quarters, cover 4, but it was. We didn't look good this year in either one of those. So that's where we're kind of at now, which is trying to figure this out. But outside of the corner play, there's one more point I want to bring up before I jump off of here today, guys. And that has to do with the defensive line. We only really made one significant move during this trade deadline, the period around the trade deadline on Monday, right? We went out and we got a young guy, okay? This guy that we were high on back in 2018. I know there's a lot of people who don't feel very confident in this young man, and I can understand it. But with that said, this kid has incredible speed for the position. He's fast. He's small in stature, and he has a great bend around the corner. So I want you to think about what this team has done in the 4th round. They picked it, and I know this kid was drafted in the 5th round, but we traded away a 4th round. So for us, in perspective, this kid's a 4th rounder. Okay. This past year, who did we draft in the 4th round? Sharif Miller. Could you argue that Sharif Miller is a pretty similar type player? I would say so. The year prior, who did we draft in the 4th round? Josh Sweat. Can we argue that Josh Sweat is a similar player? I would think so. I would argue that he is. If you really look at some of these kids on this roster now you have Josh Sweat, Sharif Miller, and this new kid. I can't remember his name right now, guys, to save my life. I'm sorry. But the new guy we just brought in. All of them have this element to them of being speed rushers. This is where I think some of this is coming into play, which is if we know that we're getting faster guys into the lineup, Derek Barnett, right? This new kid we just signed. Josh Sweat now he's starting to get pressure. He hasn't really gotten home that much yet, but you can see he's getting pressure on the quarterback. I'm not going to say Sharif Miller because the kid hasn't even really played, right? But still, you guys get my point here. If we're starting to get pressure on the quarterback, now you move in, you play man, because you do feel that you can create with these 2 new corners in there again, right? With Darby and with Mills back, you can create enough time and space now to get to the quarterback. I think that move was significant, guys. I really do. I think that trade was very significant because I think we might be seeing a new. We might be revamping this defense. Is my point. All right, guys, that's my point for today. I'm gonna jump off of here, man. Y'all do me a favor. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys tell me about what you saw from this game. What did you guys feel about this game? Tell me what you think about our defensive line right now. Tell me what you think about our corner play. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here. You know what we do before we jump off here? We do a little chant. It goes a little something like E-A-G-L-E-S. Let's go, Eagles, baby.